Okay, welcome back, everybody, to The Morning After. I need you to do the jowl thing again. And anyone who's watching this, and we're going to have to make a social clip because this is pretty incredible. Go ahead. Do what you just showed me.
First of all, I thought this was a moment we were sharing privately.
We are with our listeners. Show us.
And now I'm exposing my insecurities to the world. So let me show you.
Okay, great. You shouldn't be insecure, though.
This is my before. And by before, I mean before any surgical intervention, which is coming. We just haven't set the date.
Handsome, electric, beautiful, lots of personality, smile that takes up a face. You're
Madonna
welcome.
fan.
Now show us the after.
Before. After.
I mean, I will say, yeah, it definitely it looks like an age difference. But then you see people do the facelifts and they look crazy.
That's why I have the solution.
What's the solution?
I'm just going to walk around like this.
You should just take the face tape and just put it under your chin. Just get some of your skin color. No one will say anything.
I'm just going to act like I'm on my phone and use my phone to pull up my jowls and be like, oh, hey, you guys, and just be like this the whole time in my life.
Hank's going to be on air. They're like, Hank, why are you on the phone? He's going to be like, and also just do me from this side, film me from this side with the phone. No, but I do think you could face tape that and just say you have a sunspot that you're covering up. Oh, geez. We have a prop. 3, 2, 1, go. Jawser.
Correct.
You are
yet to use
out. What? No. You can't just leave us hanging. What is a Jawser? You know what a jaw? No. Yeah. Put a piece of gum in.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That actually, you know how firm my jaw muscle is? Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that?
I found it on the internet and
no shit.
It was like $20.
A full gym for your face. That's the tagline?
Yeah.
You just literally got ripped off. All you have to do is put a piece of gum in your mouth. Turns out you're exercising your jaw. Okay. Well, $20 poorer. It's fine. Anyways, let's talk about our It's a Lots. Let's get into it. What do you have for me?
My It's a Lot is actually a negative that turned into a positive.
Oh,
I don't know if I'll ever be able to fly again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we were supposed to fly out from the Orlando to the Detroit, but then big storms came, and so we pivoted and flew out at 6 a.m. the next morning and kind of did the airport hotel stint.
Okay.
So my It's a Lot is just the travel chaos of life. But what I learned and what warmed my heart and my cockles more than anything.
Your cockles.
I was having a complete meltdown and nobody handled any of it better than my 7-year-old daughter, who was a rock star.
Oh my gosh.
None of it phased her. Go to bed at 11 o'clock at night. By the time we get to the hotel, have to wake her up at 4 a.m. She's up like that. She's on her little scooter in the airport. And she was just like, peace, we'll get there, whatever, no big deal.
She rocked it. You know what? There is something about kids. I feel like when they feel their parents are really, really struggling, they tend to flip a switch. Do you know what I mean? They're like, you know what? I'm going to actually help you today instead of make it harder.
Yeah, she was phenomenal. And I mean, God bless the flight crew. I always say this, thank God it's a safe flight. It's a huge plane. We're in 69F because they had to rebook us.
Gosh.
So we were like the last row from the back.
It's a big plane.
Smelled like death. Yeah, it was horrible. It was like just nasty. But everybody was so nice. We were the last people to leave the plane. So I saw the pilot and I was like, thank you so much for a safe flight. Would you mind if my daughter took a peek in the cockpit? And he was so nice. So I was just like, hey, chocolate cake, we don't care. We're in the cockpit, whatever. So
we are burning calories in the cockpit and not gaining calories. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And memories. Good for you. I love that.
Yeah.
I also, just so we know, what is cockles?
You've never heard the phrase warm my cockles?
Sure haven't. But update me. What is that?
I don't know what a cockle is, but I've heard like it warms the cockles of my heart. Have you heard this before, Kiki? Or am I making this up?
I'd never heard this before. No. But a quick search says that they're edible marine mollusks with soft shells that are often round or oval. They look like clams. That's one way of spelling cockles, and then the other way of spelling cockles is like a last name. So
Can you type in warm my cockles and see if
yeah.
any? I love that you just made this up.
Warm the cockles of someone's heart means to give someone a comforting feeling of pleasure or contentment.
I still don't get it though. Where's cockles? Honestly,
I don't think it's like a body part, or I don't know, but I just realized that I can't shake in very strong agreement with you because I noticed my jaw was flapping as I did. So I'm just gonna say like, yes.
Does mine do it?
You don't have them yet, Kelly B. You're in your 30s. They don't grow on your face until you're closer to 50. So if anybody has any insider tips or tricks, then I would greatly appreciate it.
Gum. I know it. That is what gives you the jawline and the oh my God, I'm a nurse. Hello. The jowls. What are these muscles called? I forget. Doesn't matter.
Like the
mandible.
The masseter.
Yeah, masseter. Something like that. Anyways, you chew gum, it gets bigger, it gives you a jawline. You're welcome.
Do smokers have more muscle here because they're like constantly like?
I don't think so. You know what they do have? Lip wrinkles. That's what they
those
have.
little tiny ones.
That's why you don't sip out of a straw, but I love a straw because if I don't have a straw, I'm going to spill all over myself. So I sip out of a straw. Anyways, moving on. It's a lot. I will tell you, I did not think this was going to happen for another 4 years. We are walking our kids to school. We're giving them kisses at goodbye. This is Friday, and I'm like, woo, it's Friday. Have a good day, girls. Because this is who I am. And Hunter turns to me and goes, Mom, please stop embarrassing me. I was like, oh my God. And then me, I was like, okay, hunty, have a good day. You know what I mean? But broke my heart. And Olivia Plouffe was standing next to me and she was like, it's okay. She was like, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being the fun mom. And I was like, very sweet of you. But I walked away going, why do I do that? Why do I I don't know. It is me, one, but two, I feel like in a way we're under this microscope and I want my girls to know that no matter if people are looking at you or whatever, to have fun and to be silly and to not take life seriously like I am. There's definitely people watching us at drop off, watching how we interact, all the things. And I don't care. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, you have to somewhat embarrass your kids so that they know oh, it's okay to be silly. It's okay
I think they will, when they are adults, have a greater appreciation for it. Like in the mornings, Emma and I do a dance party. It's a minute long.
I love
but we
that.
pick a song and we dance. Usually now it's Taylor Swift. I'm like, okay. But we just do something. And one day I said to Judge, I was like, that's so goofy that we do. I don't know, she always, and he's like, she will remember that.
She'll remember it.
And she will remember that you guys did dance parties. And I'm like, okay, then I'm going to do them until she tells me that I'm annoying and I'm silly.
I think that is, honestly, she will. That's like making memories. It's like when I used to drop the girls off at preschool and we'd have a dance party in the parking lot before going in. And the girls still talk about that because we used to do it for the bus stop as well. And now there's no really stop or wait or whatever. We're walking from the neighborhood. And Tyler asked me about it, but I agree with you. Making memories, and I really want my girls to not take life seriously, and it's okay if people are looking at you to still be your silly self. Who cares?
Do you remember any sort of ritualistic things that your parents did when you were younger?
You know what? My dad. This is just quick, but my dad would always give me butterfly kisses.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I will always remember. And we both had these long eyelashes, and I actually do it with Hunter now. I don't know why Hunter. That's just who ended up really taking to the butterfly kisses and the Eskimos. But every night when I tuck her in, we do Eskimos, butterflies, kiss, good night.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cute.
Oh, what about you?
Mine was my mom, and it drove me crazy, especially as I got older. But I had this in my bedroom growing up. I had like a ceiling fan that had a light attached to it.
Yeah,
And
love
so,
those.
like, and I was not easy to get up in the morning at that age. And so she would come in and she would like slam the light and she'd go, rise and shine. And I'd be like, what? And like she said it every single damn time. And when she
Well,
was gone, which was very rare, if my dad had to wake me up, and my dad was like a quiet Southern gentleman, he would lightly open my door and he'd go, boy, get up. And that was just it. And I'm like, God, maybe it's why I have like such a split personality, because I'm like, rise and shine. And then I'm like, boy, get up.
wait, how do you wake Emma up?
She's usually awake before me, and then I hear her
Okay.
feet because she's like
Okay.
a 6 a.m.er
Oh, wow.
usually, and I'm like close to
Wow.
that. So we're like kind of almost on the same schedule, but one of us is within minutes of the other usually.
Okay. We wake up our kids, and Matthew and I are very, very different. Because I'm more of in a hurry, like get up.
Yeah.
So I walk in, and this is really funny. I go, rise and shine, and give God that glory, glory, rise and shine, and it gets, and keeps going. But Matt, rise and shine, and give God that glory, glory, children of the Lord. Anyways, so
This song.
if I try to cheer him up, and literally Chandler will look at, she'll be like like covering her face, and she'll just look up and go, Mom, stop. But Matthew calmly walks in, gets in Tyler's bed first, rubs her head, gets her awake, then goes to the next one and the next one and the next one, and is very gentle. And it just, just shows you how different we are. Hydration is so important. We all know this because honestly, it helps with everything. It helps with our insides. It helps with our skin, our hair, our nails. I mean, hydration is honestly the key to just an overall healthy person. And I have had a seriously hard time with this in the past, but then Cure came along and I honestly have fallen in love with Cure. I put it in every water. So what is it? Well, it's the cleanest way to hydrate. It is made with clean ingredients and 0 added sugar, giving you that hydration, but none of the junk. It's only 25 calories per serving. There's no added sugars or artificial sweeteners. It's pretty awesome. It's doctor approved. You can throw it in your bag, use it when you need it. I honestly, literally every water I have now has a Cure electrolyte mix in it. My flavors, I was really stuck on lime and also berry pomegranate, but I tried the watermelon the other day. Holy cow, might be my new one. So if you want a new habit of being hydrated, Cure is the answer. They make water taste good, but also it is filled with all the good electrolytes. For Morning After listeners, Cure is offering 20% off your first order. Stay hydrated and feel your best by visiting curehydration.com/Kelly and using promo code Kelly at checkout. That's curehydration.com/Kelly and use code Kelly for 20% off your first order.
Speaking of your wonderful, handsome husband,
Yes.
I dropped my phone today because of your husband.
Oh, was it the Rams thing?
Holy
Hot.
shit.
Hot, right?
I could have done without the neck part. I'm not a
Ooh,
big
I love the
fan.
neck.
You like a neck?
Ooh. Well,
Maybe
if you're
it
going
would hide
to
my jowls.
or just part of the tattoo starts sagging. I don't think it would hide it. It might accentuate it. Wait, this is a great question. First of all, I thought he looked hot. Second of all, if you had to get a tattoo, what would it be and where?
I would get my daughter's initials.
Oh, boo.
I know, I'm such a tool. I have one worse than that, but you will never let me live it down, so I would not share it with you.
What?
I would get my daughter's initials.
And like what, fucking Eunice?
No,
Okay.
if I really was doing a tattoo, I would do the M from the Madonna Immaculate Collection CD cover. So
You know what? You love it. I respect it. Wouldn't be my first choice, but it's yours, and I respect you and I love you.
I would
So
probably just do my daughter's initials somewhere small. What would you
yeah.
do?
Well,
You couldn't do
honestly,
that. If you did that, you'd have a sleeve.
I'm not against the sleeve. I will say if I got one tattoo, I would want a sleeve. Like I don't like the one tattoo on me. I want like the whole thing if I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Okay, no, you don't know what I mean. Honestly, like I don't know. I always thought about getting the date behind my ear where I had my brain surgery. Just like the date of the surgery. I don't know. Just something, but then I'm like,
Who's going to see it?
Yeah, and I'm just like not really a tattoo person. But Matthew looks fantastic. I was like, I almost was like, I think you should get a sleeve.
I mean, you looked really. Do you ever think to yourself, this is where my brain goes at 4 a.m? I'm like, I can't get a tattoo because when I'm in the nursing home one day, I don't want them to be like, oh my God, did you see patient 29F's back tattoo? Like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if they age well, but there are some people that can really pull it off. I just don't, I'm not one of them. And I don't think you're one of them either. I love you so much. And I don't think Matthew is either. But he looked great in them. I don't think he loves enough things to put a whole arm of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could do like my kids' faces.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Oh, what are you trying to say? I think they would look great with a
Faces on
tattoo.
body, it just,
Agreed.
But
All right.
I thought he looked really good, and I like did a double take really quick, and I was like, "Holy, okay, no, that's not real." But I was just like, "That is so like," it was just shocking because
Yeah.
you don't know that he's not going to get a sleeve.
I mean, you never know. Midlife crisis might happen,
No.
and that could be a
No.
thing. All right. Speaking of my husband, this Friday, is it Friday? Yeah, this Friday marks our 10-year anniversary of marriage.
Ooh.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
I knew
Very
that was coming up. How are you going to celebrate?
Very exciting. We have a gymnastics competition. You know what? This is what happens. Yeah, we have a gymnastics competition in Pasadena. And then we might go stay at a hotel and send the kids home and just go to dinner or something. You know, life happens and you get busy, and as big as this, it is a big anniversary. Like we are, you know, really happy and proud that we're here, I guess. But our life is different than 10 years ago where we had all the time. We don't have that time anymore. So, and we both didn't want to miss competition. To be honest, like, yes, that was an option. We could have sent them and not gone. But at the same time, like, our kids have worked really hard on this, so we want to be there to support, you know, the whole thing. But as we were talking about anniversary, my iPhone was listening to us, and first thing I pulled up, there was a marriage article, and I can't remember the exact name, but I am going to tell you who wrote it, and it was Mark Travers, and he is a PhD, and he's a psychologist that specializes in relationships. We'll post the article just because it's really, really good, and it's short. It's not like, because I don't, listen, if I click on an article and it's 10 pages long, I'm out. I need quick and to the point. We don't have time. No one has time these days. But I thought it was honestly really incredible, and I wanted to share some of it and kind of like talk about some of Matthew and I's failures in it, and also like our successes, and kind of to celebrate the 10-year. So, and also I love this, not that I love this, but you have been married and divorced now. This also talks about divorce, and I want to get like kind of your opinion on it. Okay. All right. So there were 5 things that he was like, this is what you have to, like, these are the key things. And you know the book 5 Love Languages, which I'm sure everyone has read? Okay, that book I love, but I also hate because honestly, I'm all 5 of those, which should mean I'm very easy to make happy, okay?
Or
Turns out when you're all 5, it's a bitch. So anyways, I think this is way better. The first thing is love alone isn't enough to hold a marriage together. So, which makes sense, right? It says what truly sustains a marriage is commitment, effort, and the willingness to adapt, right? So the adapting, I mean, the example, having kids, so like someone, you could be both working when you have children, and then all of a sudden somebody has to be the caregiver and maybe give up their, their job, their career, maybe what they've dreamed of doing, to become, make it work for the family and the couple. Then you still have the person, male or female, doesn't matter, who's still working. Still kind of nothing much has changed for them except for there's another human body in the house. But what's good, like what I thought about that is it's really important, I think, for the person who is still working, which is kind of what Matthew did in a way. Obviously I didn't have a job. I was a nurse, but like, come on. We all know my nursing abilities and knowledge. But that's what I had always wanted to do somehow, and he was like, I want you to know that like, I understand that you have given up something so that I can continue on with what I want to do, and giving them that space to just let them mourn the fact that they don't have that career anymore, or they don't have that dream anymore. They're at home now, and I'm not saying it's a horrible thing. It's just what happens, and you have to be able to adapt to it, and together. Because if one person just gives up everything and the other person doesn't really recognize it, or doesn't even like say thank you or whatnot, I think there's resentment that builds.
I think effort, the one that stood out to me out of those three, was effort. Because that's one thing, if I look back on, prior relationships that didn't work out, not just my marriage, but like whatever.
Yeah.
There could be moments where I would say like, well, you didn't consciously give it the effort that you needed to give it. And I find myself now having learned lessons and applying things differently. And Jake and I both do this, where we're like, okay, we're over efforting, we're over communicating, we're like compensating for things in the past. But I think effort is really big. And sometimes it means like, maybe you don't want to do that one thing, or you're not feeling like this, or you're not feeling, but you're going to do it anyway, because it's important for that person and the relationship to be better.
Yeah.
Effort.
Yes, I love that. And honestly, to piggyback on that, the number 4, I'm just going to jump ahead and we'll go back. Without constant maintenance, your marriage will crumble. So like people think, I feel like going to marriage should be effortless. You're in love conquers all. Turns out it is not that at all. Yes, love is important, but it's not going to sustain a marriage. Like the first thing said, you're going to have work, kids, finances. And it says that often puts relationship lower on the priority list. This is huge for Matthew and I. We tend to get in a routine with either kids or the season or families coming to town that we always put each other last, because we're like, you know what? You're good. And it is a huge struggle on our marriage. Like it always, that one really rang true to me. Just because life gets busy, and turns out your kids can't take care of themselves, but your husband can. So you kind of put them above everything else, or your job needs you, your husband might not need you. There's things that happen, but really making that effort to have the quality time, to make sure you are connecting and communicating, whether it's over communicating or not. And my sister, I asked a couple people, some marriage advice, like who have been married for a while and who've had their ups and downs and their struggles. And she said, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It doesn't have to be a crazy date night at a really nice restaurant where you're spending quality time. It could be that you go on the back porch and you open a beer together and you just sit and you hang out. Even if the kids are running around the yard, you're sitting there, you're talking to each other, kind of just, going through everything. Because I believe this, every relationship in your life, not even just marriage, needs that consistent, just like attention and work. Like you can't expect a friendship to last if you don't work at it.
Yeah.
If you don't call people and you're far away, or if you don't take an interest in their life, knowing what's going on, that relationship's going to wither away.
Yeah.
So agree. Everything. So anyways, and they put it was good. Like they said, a car's not going to run without maintenance forever.
Oh my God, I was just thinking about that. I literally was just going to say, like, if you don't give a car oil changes and tune it up and change the tires and rotate them, like eventually it's just going to die. That's why I even think, and I have friends who have really good relationships and there's not a big pressing issue. And I've talked about this before, but go to talk to a therapist.
Oh,
And they do it as a couple, and they say, you know what, this week we're actually pretty good, but like, you know, this is on the horizon, or we need to talk about that or this. Like, I just think that is like, you don't have to go to a therapist once you have the crisis. You can go to them to
no.
help you mitigate one.
Matthew and I always said, like, going through marriage counseling before getting married, and we've, gone back, like, we've done it some within the marriage too. But it was never when we were like fighting.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I will say, and I'll get into it too. Well, actually, this is number 2. You're going to fight a lot. And it's the way you handle these fights. You're 2 different people that all of a sudden are brought together and are living together. You were raised differently. You're going to raise your kids differently than each other. There's going to be conflict. And I think people, and there's plenty of people who have told me, oh, we don't fight. We don't fight. And I'm going, how do you grow?
Yeah.
Like, I do think sometimes the people that say they don't fight at all, the big issues are getting brushed under the rug.
Yeah.
And that's just, it is what it is. But I do think it's just healthy conflict is almost essential.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, meaningful conversations about wants and needs can lead to the problem solving. But those meaningful conversations usually start because someone is hurt. So something happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important he says, to create like a safe space to where you can talk about it, where your spouse can be vulnerable to you and not feel judged. And I think that's huge, especially while you're fighting. There can be a lot of just like, intense feelings going on, but to make sure there's a safe space that you both can talk without being judged for it.
Yeah.
And note like the tit for tat where you're just going back and forth. Well, you did this. Obviously, that's not going to fix anything.
Yeah.
And bringing up old shit, which I do. I'm horrendous at that. Like, I've tried really hard over the past year to just not do it. But I'm really bad about bringing up past things that have happened and kind of shoving it in his face. And he's like, I thought you forgave me for that. Here we are again. But I will say Matthew is better at this than I am. The whole, fighting thing. And we had a fight recently. Excuse me, I'm drinking Coke and I had a little burpee. We had a fight recently about, I spent probably 2 weeks building this playground, like virtually talking with the guy, making sure it fits in the yard, has everything the girls love on it, the colors, making it what we needed and wanted, right? It took about 2 weeks going back and forth. Then I had to schedule movers, the people to build it, all in time for this birthday. And God, did they not deserve it, but here we are. The younger 2 did. So it's fine. It's honestly great because we can tell them they can't go on it if they're bad and they get devastated.
Oh.
Yeah, so win-win. But I was like, hey, I'm going to go run and do an errand. Like, the playground finally got built, done. And I said, I didn't say anything because I didn't think I needed to, but clearly I needed to. I was just like, don't let them go outside because the playground. There are these memories as parents that we have that we hold on to, and there's very few. And I feel like the first playground and their reactions to it would have been like a core memory for me, especially after putting the work into it. I'm doing socials to help pay for it. Like, I'm trying to do most of it. So I come home from my errand and they are on the playground. And I was like, yeah. And it might not be this is where like we had to have a discussion because he didn't understand. I walk out and I go, you couldn't have waited. And his mom was there. So we didn't want to get into it right there. And he was like, it's fine. And I looked at him and I go, it's fine because you fucking did nothing for it. Like, I was pissed. And I was just like upset. And so I walked away because I didn't want to say anything that I would regret in front of his mother. And so I walked away, who, by the way, she's great. She visited for like 4 days, and that woman is hysterical.
Wow.
God, I love her. Okay. So anyways, I go upstairs. We go to separate soccer games because the girls play at the same time. And we get home, and he's like, sit down with me. Talk to me. Tell me like what you're feeling because I am I don't understand, and I want to understand. And I put it all out there, and he was like, I'm honestly very sorry. I get it. I should have gotten it before, but obviously I can't take it back, and I'm sorry. And I understand where you're coming from. And from now on, when there's these big moments, I will absolutely make sure you're around.
Yeah.
But like, it was nice to be he literally was like, talk to me.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't want to. He was like, no, we're talking
And
about
so
it.
much of it for you wasn't even that. Like you were happy. Your kids are having fun. I mean,
Yeah.
you loved it. But it was he didn't realize what that meant to you, and you felt like you missed a significant milestone.
I did. I really and something I worked hard on, and I wanted to be around for it.
Yeah.
And I will say this, when it comes to fighting, this is like something that I kind of pinpointed or like really thought about. Because I have friends who have gone through divorce. I obviously know you, and it's important to obviously have conflict in marriage and to fight for a marriage. Like, I think fighting for something is so respectable. But with that said, and I've said it before on this podcast, both sides have to fight for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have one person fighting for it and the other one just being like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
No. It only works. You both have to all be in. You're either both in or you're both out.
Yeah. And like, at the end of the day, you married this person. At one point in your life, you said, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. Give yourselves the benefit of both of you at least trying to make it work. And then if it doesn't, I understand. But like, I do see a lot of people where one person's fighting, the other one's already given up, and they're still in the marriage. All right, guys, we all know how important sleep is. And to be honest, I used to do like a sleepy time tea until I found Beam Dream Powder. I love a good hot chocolate. I love something warm before going to bed. And I love the fact that Beam's Dream Powder helps me get a good night's sleep. It has a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. But not only that, it just tastes good, and it's a nice cup of hot chocolate before you're going to bed. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-backed ingredients shown to improve your sleep so you can wake up refreshed, because we all know we need it. I am currently loving the salty dark chocolate flavor, but they have 11 different flavors. I've loved the peppermint bark and also the brownie batter. Again, check out their flavors. I'm sure there's something you're going to love, and it's going to help you sleep better. They've already improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep, helping people across the country wake up and feel their best. So here's the deal. Beam is giving our listeners, parents or not, their best offer yet. Try their best-selling Dream Powder and get up to 40% off a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com/morningafter and use the code morningafter at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/morningafter and use code morningafter for up to 40% off. By supporting Beam, you support this show and all of us fellow parents out there. Place your first order of Beam and start getting your best night's sleep.
I have heard a thing, though, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been the Obamas. But there was a couple that talked about how no couple is ever completely aligned. Nobody's both operating at 100%. You're going to have days when you're 100 and Matthew's like 30, and you have to be willing to go up and to go down.
Bridge the gap.
You have to bridge the gap with each other, because there's so many stressors in life. And, I mean, especially you guys, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, you know, and you have to be there after that tough game to be like, you know what, I'm right here. You have to be there after that, tough day with the kids and life and the stress of just everything, to say like, okay, listen, I know you didn't have the best day. I didn't have the best day, but I'm here to help pick up those pieces. Like, we're good.
I loved that, the Obama thing. They're like, you can't always be 50-50. Sometimes you're going to come home and you have 30 to give. And in a marriage, that's when the other person picks you up and says, I'll give 70. And we'll meet. And that's like, and I loved that analogy, because it's true. Every day is different. And there's going to be days where I have had it with the kids, right? There's going to be days where I'm done. Not done. Matthew says, never say you're done with the kids, because they feel, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I need a second. And Matthew's so good on picking up on those cues and filling my cup, being like, I got it. Like, you go take a second. I got you. I could probably be better about it, because honestly, by the time he comes home from work and he's probably exhausted, I'm already exhausted. And I also think that's a conversation. Like, fuck, we're both at 20. we're just gonna have to make it work. You know, like this is just one of those days where we're gonna have to get through it instead of like, you know, because there are gonna be those days too.
These are such good check-ins. Like,
They're
first of all,
so good.
how did you find it? Where was it?
I
And we'll
think it's
share it
Apple.
with people.
I think it was Apple News. Like, again, my iPhone was listening to me talk about our anniversary, and it was like, and marriage tips. So, okay, number 3, your partner won't and can't meet all of your needs. I think I've talked about this before. When I moved out to Michigan, I was expecting Matthew to make me happy, to do everything. Like, I moved for you. Like, you have to be my best friend, and I don't know, just all of it. And he looked at me, he's like, I can't do that for you. Like, you have to make yourself happy first before I can. But this was the one thing that stood out to me about this is he said, healthy spouses recognize the importance of individuality. That means maintaining individual interest, friendships, and goals. So a relationship like won't feel suffocating. You don't want to feel suffocated. Like you have to be together literally all the time.
Yeah.
Which is exhausting.
Yeah.
And this is where, honestly, this podcast comes in. Matthew always is encouraging me, even like if I'm down, like I'm like, oh, you know, he's like, remember, like, you are 1, good at this, 2, helping hopefully others, 3, helping yourself, 4, laughing with your best friend. Like, you're good. Like, you got it. He's always encouraging me to have something of my own.
Yeah.
And I do love that about them, because there are times when he could have easily said, no more podcast. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And you created a community of people who kind of all like vibe off each other. You know, it's really interesting too, though. I think about you guys specifically. I can't remember when I thought about this, but like so much of your social circles, your girlfriends, his guy, but so many of them are intertwined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like not like you take a girls trip with like 4 girls that he like just casually knows. Like you guys are all like in that same like circle. Good and tricky sometimes too. You know?
Yeah. I will say we're pretty good at even though we all know each other, separating women and men in a way. Like we kind of just do our own thing, they do theirs. And my tennis hobby has really helped with that. He knows those girls casually. I actually went on a trip with them last year. And that's not, it is nice to kind of feel like you have something that's separate.
Yeah.
Because even you're right, all of our groups of friends, they're all like, we're like incestual. No, what is that word?
Don't say incestuous.
I mean, but like best friend married best friend, other friend married other friend. I mean, then we all just kind of ended up together, which is so fun. But you are kind of, you don't have really, you're not an individual. You're kind of like a couple. Everyone's kind of like a couple in that moment. So yeah, you're right. But he also said this, which I loved. A thriving relationship is built on 2 whole complementary individuals, not 2 halves trying to complete each other.
Oh.
And I think that's true.
And I think that goes back to the thing that Matthew told you before. Like, I can't be expected to make you happy.
Nope. You can be a part of my happiness. Like, I would love for you to be a large part of it, but I'm happy before him. Like, you can't just expect someone to I don't know, to make your life this joyous thing without, like, if you're unhappy before, no one can do that for you.
No, you're done.
No. And if you rely on someone to do it, you're going to suffocate them.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah,
so
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's good. Okay, and the last one, so we've gone through 4. You are both going to change individually. This is what he said. This is so good because this is something that Matthew and I, like, we've known each other for a long time now. You can't expect the person you marry at 25 to be the exact same person at 45. People evolve, priorities shift, and life circumstances change. The most successful couples are the ones who adapt and grow together. This means being open to new experiences and giving one another space to evolve without being threatened by it.
Wow. And I mean, think of all the chapters you guys have already gone down. College students, entering the NFL, moving, injury, brain tumor, 4 kids. Holy shit, I'm exhausted. How are you sitting here?
No,
But so many different evolutions of your lives independently and your lives intertwined, and you're
mhm.
kind of, too big, in a few years, you're both going to be 40. Changes to your careers. I mean, there's a lot of things on the horizon too, but they're
Yeah.
kind of exciting things.
Yeah. And I will say the biggest one that stuck out to me that you just said is like when we talk about people changing, Matthew going from college to the NFL. I'm not saying he changed as like a person. Like he's still the same, pretty much same guy that I've always known when it comes to just like his personality and the way he is with people and stuff like that. But I will say there was something that I had to kind of adjust to, which was the more like crazy fun Matthew to the professional Matthew at a very young age. And that was something that I was kind of thrown off by. All of a sudden we couldn't go dancing at the bars and we couldn't do things that I used to love to do. And that was the adapting. Like I had to kind of be like, okay, well, you're changing. This is a change. And I'm gonna, kind of, what's it called when you
Evolve,
no,
adapt,
cushion that change,
Support.
yeah. And I'm gonna support that change and try to be with you with it. Like, okay, if that's the case, then we're gonna figure something else out. Maybe we just dance in our condo. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was a big, honestly, change. And I will say after that, I feel like because we knew each other as 17-year-olds, the minor changes along the way are kind of hard to point out. But we have both changed. Obviously, we've become parents, everything that you have mentioned. But I do feel like it's hard to see those changes because you're in it and you've been in it for a long time. I'm the type of person that, like when you say moving, brain tumor, surgeries for like all these things, a lot of, I've had it like someone told me this and I've never let it go. It's, when you're going through it, you're going, why is God doing this to me?
Yeah.
Really, God's doing it for you. Because you look back on all those, Matthew and I's relationship and our family unit is stronger because of everything.
Yeah.
Like he is doing it for us. He's showing us, okay, this is going to be hard, but if you do it together, you're going to be stronger in the end.
Yeah.
And that's, again, how we've tried to look at marriage. And it's hard. Marriage is fucking hard. And anyone who tells you differently is fucking lying through their teeth. You know what I mean? Like it is, you are, again, all of a sudden you put yourself first all the time. Now all of a sudden you're putting someone else first, one. Two, then there's kids involved. You're putting that, like, it just becomes tougher and tougher with the more things thrown your way. And that's why I loved this, because it's all about like communication and evolving with them. And fighting's okay as long as you fight the right way. And as long as you can give that space for them to be vulnerable and for you not to judge. But I will say with Maddie, like there's been so many ups and downs in our marriage. There really has. I would say the first year of marriage was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because nothing really changed in our lives. Like we were kind of already living together. But that was our first big thing thrown our way, which was IVF, was infertility.
Yeah. Which is big.
And we had to learn, like, okay, how do you support someone? It might be different than how I support someone. So like talking through those things. But last but not least, I wanted to do say the marriage advice I got from these people. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Price vary based on how you buy. You guys know I am very into health and I'm so excited about Function. I'm testing with Function throughout the year and can't wait to share with you what's going on for me. What is Function? Well, it is an all-in-one health platform that starts with over 100 advanced lab tests covering your entire body: heart, hormones, liver, kidneys, thyroid, autoimmunity, cancer signals, toxins, nutrients, and more. And it goes beyond the traditional healthcare. So if you even make it to your annual checkup every year, and let's be honest, I don't know if you guys do, they're only testing for 19 biomarkers. Function Health goes 5 times deeper, giving a comprehensive view that allows you to catch potential issues early and take proactive action. Not only that, they do a first test, a baseline test, and that helps establish the baseline of your health, giving you a starting point to compare future tests against. They have so many different options of tests you can run, but to be honest, I did the optimizing hormones test, and I also did the boosting metabolism. I can't even go into everything that they offer, but if you go and even just look at their website, you will be floored at what all you can do. Function currently has a wait list, but they are offering our audience the chance to skip it. You can head to functionhealth.com/morningafter or enter code morningafter when signing up to skip the wait list. Guys, I will say one thing, like, I obviously have a deal with them and I got something for free, but I just paid for a lot more because I want all the tests. So again, let's head to functionhealth.com/morningafter, or you can just enter the code morningafter when signing up to skip that wait list. My tennis coach, Dina, she's been married for 26 years.
I like
She said,
Dina.
I love Dina. Humor, laughing with each other.
You gotta laugh.
Best therapy there is. Am I right? And I mean, I'm not funny, but Matthew's funny. I laugh all the time. Now, I'm not sure he laughs that much unless it's at me. But you know what? Here I am. I'm okay with that.
I like that one, laughing.
Okay. Another person said therapy, which, like, honestly, I think that therapy is fantastic. If you can afford it and have time for it, like, I'm all for it. The little things can make women feel appreciated. So say, like, and another thing, I'm going to go to the Bible real quick. Bible says that men need to love their wives. Wives need to respect their husbands. Okay. Now, when we say respect, it's not like a wife needs to be submissive to her husband. It is saying that naturally women love, like, they're loving people. And naturally men are more respecting people. So you got to do the opposite. Men feel loved when they feel respected. Women feel loved when they are loved on and told and all these things. So, like, the little things, like, for women coming in the house and being like, and this is what someone said, I'm so grateful that there's food in the fridge. Like, thank you. Thank you for always making sure there's something here that I can come home and eat. Like, that's tiny, but it matters.
Yeah.
Go on dates. Don't take yourselves too seriously. Fight for it during the tough times to get to the good times. And then my mom, this is my mom. Don't be afraid to have a good fight every now and then. It clears the air and adds some spice.
Well, I like it.
I don't really like my mom talking about spice in marriage, but here we are. Always be available for the things that are most important to your spouse. She says, I believe this is hard because what is important to them might not be important to you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is huge. And that's, like, where knowing your partner can really make a difference. Like, oh, you know what? I'm trying to think of something that's so small that you would think, like, I don't know. But I loved that one. What's a good example of that?
Taking out the trash.
Well, I would say, like, having a hug from Matthew every day, really important to me.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's important to him, but I do, like, ask for it every morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't had my hug yet. Or he'll be like, hey, we haven't hugged yet today. Like, that means a lot, but it's something so small. And then always have each other's backs. It creates comfort knowing you have someone you can always count on.
I love that.
I know. Mom.
I would say, and I think this can apply to
what you got?
I would say this can apply to almost everything in life, and I use it in my job all the time, but I try to use it in life, is listen more than you talk.
What's that saying? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's hard because I feel like this is why I think that's hard, though. When you have kind of brushed things under the rug and there's a lot of resentment. It is hard to let someone talk and you're hearing them and you're just thinking about all the other shit that you've brushed under the rug. So it's hard to just sit there and listen. You just start talking about other things that they've done.
Yeah.
That is something I'm bad at. I really am. And that's like, I told myself this 10 years of marriage has been incredible, ups and downs. Like, we have had 4 kids. A lot of things happen in this first 10 years of marriage. And in the next 10, I like wrote down things I want to work on in our marriage.
Goals are great.
Well, and I working to get like, again, marriage is not, you have to work on it.
Yeah.
It's not, it just doesn't come easy. It's like the maintenance we talked about. You got to make sure it's maintained. And so, this article really sparked, I was like, I want to make the next 10 years even better. And we've had an incredible marriage. I love that man more than I loved him at the start, which is hard because you guys know the start. I mean, I tried everything because I loved him so much. So, again, it's been an incredible marriage, but there's always stuff to work on.
I love kind of ending this right here because I think that first of all, cheers to both of you.
Thank you.
I'm just blessed to have both of you as such close people in my life, and I think that you both are role models. But more importantly, as role models as a couple, I think you're just really good role models individually. I think that he is just a good man, and I think that you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people's lives that you don't even realize. And together, I think you're phenomenal. I mean, I just think it's great. So salute to you. Salute to all the couples who are trying to make it work. And hopefully this moment of Zen, Kelly taking us to church, uplifted y'all, all y'all splashers.
Oh, splashers. It's our first episode we can do that. Oh, man, we should have ended with that. Next time. Well, I will be sure splashing it up this weekend. If you see me at the competition, know that I have a bottle of vodka if you need anything to drink. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. We don't know. But please come say hello. And I love you, Hank. I love will. And for all you fellow splashers that are going on spring break, travel safely, please. Hopefully you have a better travel experience than my man Hank. Until then, have a splash.
Make a splash.